relationships, but not necessarily your person you're dating. How to deal with nosy neighbors. Now, we all have neighbors. Some of them are very close. If you live in a compound house, they're very close, or some of them are on the other side of the wall. But is being nosy such a bad thing? Sometimes it can actually come to your aid if something terrible happens in your house. But what happens when you just have one of those, or those terrible neighbors who are just always nosy for no reason? How do you deal with them? So I've got two guests. We're going to be discussing this topic. First and foremost, I have Alexander Say. He's an actor sitting right next to me, and next to him we have Nanadra Agre, who is a beautician, and she is just joining us right now as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, nosy neighbors. I don't know if they're necessarily a bad thing. I remember years ago, there was this older lady down my street, and she was really nosy. She'd be like, "Oh, last night, did you see there was a car and a black man came out of it? Not like I'm racist or anything, but he was black, not like I'm racist. And he was looking around. Do you know him?" This was in England many, many years ago. And it's, but in a way, yes, she was a little bit nosy, but she kept an eye on the street, because if there was somebody coming on the street she didn't recognize, trust me, she'd be the first to call the police. "I've seen an Asian looking guy on the street. I think he might be a criminal." We all loved her, but I said, nosy, but she knew exactly what was going on. Okay. Is being a nosy neighbor such a bad thing? I'll start with you, Alexander.
To me, it's a bad thing.
Why?
Because I've been in that experience before. There was this girl who sells at the shop in my area, and I was going to escort a girl who came to visit me.
Hey, you were going to escort a girl. See, that's the first thing. You're going to escort her. What time of day or night was this? That's how we need to start. What time?
Actually, the girl came to sleep over.
Hey! Right, please. She goes to sleep in your house.
And I was like, when we were going, I told her, like, let's just buy a gun from this shop or something. When we got there, the girl was like, "This one there." No, she made it like, she said it out loud, "This one there." The girl was like, when we were going, the girl was like, "Why did the girl say this one there?" I was like, "Oh, the thing I was buying." She said, this gum there. The girl was like, since then, she started like monitoring, like she'll call me, where am I, or baby, and those kind of. So at time being a nosy neighbor is really.
So wait, the lady selling the gum, basically almost spoil things for you.
You just one statement, "This one there."
This one there.
This one there. I was like,
and then the girl started getting suspicious.
Yes, it was like, why is this girl telling you this one there? I was like,
I want to know, why do you think the chewing gum seller was getting suspicious? Like, why did she come out with that comment? Had you been bringing different girls sleeping over at different points? Maybe she was just being a caring neighbor.
No, but if you're trying to be a caring neighbor, at least you know your limit. Maybe after going to the square, maybe I come back, you tell me, "Oh, this one there," or something like those.
Oh wait, so was it this one there to you or to the girl?
It was to me, but the girl heard it. The girl was right behind me.
What do you think she meant by that?
She was like, "This girl there," because normally she sees girls visiting, but not all are my girlfriend. No, not all of them are my girlfriend.
But the one that slept over, was she your girlfriend?
Yeah, she was my girlfriend.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. This seems a bit juicy. All right. Now let me ask you another. I think most people have nosy neighbors. And for the most part, they're not so harmful. What's your take on them? Are they good or are they bad?
They're bad.
They're bad.
Extremely bad.
Have you had experiences with nosy neighbors?
Well, I have, but I have an instance where a lady lives close to a guy, and then the guy has a girlfriend. The lady knows, and then she keeps on, anytime she's home and she knows the guy is there, she comes to look over the wall to see if something is happening in the house.
Okay.
It got to a point, she comes to say, "I don't have light. Can I please come over and watch TV?"
Oh.
It so happened that the girl got upset with the guy. Maybe you're having something with this girl and I'm not aware of it. So when I come, she wants to,
come around. But it sounds to me like this, other lady clearly had interest in the man,
Exactly, but because she's always spying on the guy, coming to check whether he's in the house, what he's doing, looking through the fence and all that. She kept on doing it, and then even the second lady realized that this girl is up to something, and I mean, it could just break the relationship because of what she was doing. So I think it's extremely bad.
It's extremely bad. But I mean, let's look at some instances where, you know, nosy neighbors are actually good and they can even save lives. I mean, you know, looking at that, because I said this older lady on the street that I grew up in, if anything ever weird happened, she was the first, always looking out of her window. And in a way, it's like we have stuff like Neighborhood Watch. She was, you know, because she was home most of the time. If anything was to happen, trust me, she'll be one of the first people to either alert authorities and so forth. So yes, there are good. So there are some good elements essentially.
But to some extent, they are good. Maybe there's a fire outbreak or maybe robbery or something. Maybe they could get to call the police or the fire service like maybe earlier. Apart from that, it's bad. To me, apart from that, it's bad.
So is it that we should group nosy neighbors then essentially to the good ones? The ones who are only looking for a crime, and you know, the ones who are there looking into your personal business. Is that way? And why is it so bad if they're looking in your personal business? Because sometimes too, if you know you're doing something you shouldn't be, and then nosy neighbor looks and reports it,
no,
it's still a crime.
It's not a crime, but sometimes you're not even doing what the person thinks you're doing. She is standing from afar and judging you by what she sees.
Well, it's interesting you say she. So does that mean that you think all nosy neighbors are women?
No. I don't mean that. I'm just using she as in like, okay.
It could be he or she.
It could be a he or a she. But once the person stays back and tries to find out things that are not even existing, you know, you come back late from work and they want to know where you went to. Okay, Ejima, if you went to work, why are you coming this late? You know, people are like that.
But so in a sense, you feel like, you know, some people just cross the line.
Extremely, they cross it. They don't even want to take their time to find out what is happening. I think it would be fair if, as nosy as you are, you come close and then ask me. You know, you might probably get what you need to know.
Okay, interesting. I mean, just on what you mentioned, it was very easy, and I'm sure you're not the only person that would make that mistake to say that, oh, nosy neighbors, women. So is there a notion then that is usually, because people say women are gossipers, but trust me, I know some men that can gossip. Like, trust me, men can sit around a table of beer and kebab and gossip like no other. Not more than women can. But do you think it's most people think like when somebody is nosy, is only the females that do it? Because I think obviously men do it as well.
80% are women.
80%, and please, which data did you? According to you,
as she's even also saying, it's a woman or it's a woman.
No, I just use a she for using.
But my case is a woman. So
you haven't had any issues when you've had men?
No, actually, even the men are sometimes cool. They'll be like, when I even going to escort like the woman, they'll even be giving you sign and like it's a blink of an eye like
so they endorse you. But that is no. But then there's okay. So I'm picking up on something. So you say that when you're coming out, maybe you're coming out of your house, whatever, and then the guys see you and they're like, so they give you an endorsement of maybe thumbs up. Yeah. But are you then upset because the female that you said is a nosy neighbor was giving you a thumbs down and doing something you don't like? So she's nosy.
You know, ladies easily click with each other at times. There was this movie I once watched. This woman thought her husband was cheating, and there was this neighbor who told her it's Tuesday afternoon and Friday afternoon, and this woman, like the wife, paid attention, and she came home one Tuesday, and all to see that it was her husband's male friend who has been bringing a lady to their house. So like the woman's husband normally gives like his friend the keys to bring his girl, and at times. It's women. Media to me, it's women.
No, I think there are times when men too can do that because, you know, just opposite my house, there's a guy. They make so much noise in the house, and then when they are out like that, he's looking over my wall to see if I'm outside to check on them. And then the last time, I didn't really even see he was there. He was like, "Hey, madam, how are you?"
So he's checking.
Checking.
But does that also mean you two are nosy? Because if you know you're both looking out for each other.
No, I was coming out from my room. I was coming to get something outside, and then he was like, "Hey, madam, how are you? Where'd you come from?" And I was like, "Ashanti, I'm from Kumasi." Oh, Kumasi, which part? And then he started talking. Then he was like, "Oh, I see you drive. Go come. What do you do? What do you want? What I do for?"
Isn't that what a good neighbor is supposed to do? Aren't we supposed to be good to our neighbors? Like, "Oh, hello, how are you? I'm your neighbor." Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
The funny part
should
of
be a
it,
limit.
he told me my bin was full and that he picked the ones on the floor into his. Love your neighbor as yourself. And I was like, really? You did that for me?
But are you sure he's not interested in you?
No, I'm married, you know. He can't do that.
But interest, you think interest stops?
Marriage doesn't stop interest.
Interest doesn't mean it, but maybe, because for example, if I come out onto my driveway and I see that maybe someone's rubbish is falling, I would pick it up, and I think it's all in the vein of being a good neighbor.
That's what I'm saying. It has a limit to, like, there's a limit to everything. So maybe if that's its limit, fine. But to the extent of maybe somebody will go and you say oh, this one there or those kind of things, that's off limits. So we just have to know their limits at times. That's the way.
Okay, Nadia, obviously you're married. Like in terms of when you're in a marriage, when you're married, do you think nosy neighbors, especially if they, whispering about certain things they see, do you think it can actually harm a marriage, even maybe lead to a separation? Because you hear of stories like that. Yeah. But this one said,
Exactly, it can, because you see me come back from work with a friend, maybe a male friend, and then I'm coming to pick something for him in my house. My husband is not around, and then as nosy as you are, you see my husband and you're like, "Oh, Mrs. Agri came here with some guy," and if my husband doesn't trust me, if he doesn't take his time to find out, "Babe, who did you bring to the house and this," it can lead to something else. You understand? So basically, I think it doesn't help.
Okay, we're gonna gear up and take some messages about this particular topic, nosy neighbors. How do you deal with them? And are you a nosy neighbor? And actually, I wonder how many of us can admit that, yeah, I'm nosy. I like to know what's happening. My mom did something which I'm gonna expose her just after this, but let's go and check out some messages that what you have to say.
Okay, so as you can see, Hadbay is going on, and they're talking about nosy neighbors, and we did ask you, how do you handle those neighbors that just can't seem to get out of your business or stay out of your business? So let's move over to the screen and read some of the comments that you posted. Let's start from here. Okay. Nana Kojo Bonnie says, society has nothing to do with your relationship, because being in a relationship means you are capable of solving your problems. And if it gets out of hand, you involve your family, not the society. Right. Let's go down a little. Youngest Dino says, I think society has nothing to do with your relationship, because they can solve any problem for you, but rather, they can't solve any problem for you, but rather destroy your relationship. That's what Youngest Dino is saying. Let's see, Emmanuel Closer Akrofi says, I totally disagree with that frame. What society is going to do for you in terms of that, they will rather destroy you. Solomon Amwa says, it's very funny in Ghanaian societies, especially when couples have a misunderstanding and it becomes the talk of the town. I pray not to go through this. It's embarrassing. Well, I pray so too, Solomon. Abdullah Wumpini also says, of course, society has a role to play in every relationship, but let's go down a little. But they do have a limit. We sometimes involve the society in areas where difficulty exists. Apana Charles says, society's involvement in a relationship is really strange to me. And if I ask, for what benefit? Nicholas Officer says, I think I know my partner than the society, and hence I need less attention from the society. Let's see. Desmond Nete, let's go down a little. Desmond Nete says, it's better you keep quiet than listen to them. And if it's not working, you have to leave. Caleb Perry Joe Alpha says, society helps by praying for your relationship to stand strong. I need prayers. And he's even posted a little picture over there. I don't know whether you can see. Yeah, that's a picture he's posted. Rita Techi says, speak to them about it first. If they do not listen, make more noise when they are not feeling well. Rita Techi's comments. Now let's go to Kevin Orua Enim. It's a matter of negotiations, peace. And then Amadou Ndebugri Benjamin says, I think silence works. Then Brock KB says, just be cool. Silence is golden. So these are some of the comments that you have with regards to the topic that Had Bay is treating, nosy neighbors, and how they affect your relationship. I'll hand over back to Amake in the studio as the discussion continues.
All right, thank you very much for those comments there. I was just, just when the comments were going on, just thinking about how neighbors are treated elsewhere in the world. Like in some parts of the world, I haven't seen it done in Ghana, but when you move into a new neighborhood, usually people will turn up, knock on your door. Hello, we're from number 55. We brought you a nice apple pie, or they'll bake pie, and there's a nice gesture so that they welcome you in the community. And I'm thinking how that would work in Ghana, because if I knocked on someone's door and I'm like, oh, here I brought you soup or jollof, they'll think I put juju. I don't think you put something in the food to harm them. So do you think we have the whole notion of good neighbors wrong from the beginning?
Yeah, in our part of the world, I think yeah, we have some bad ideas about it's just from way back. That's it. You can't change it here. There are some things you can't just change it here in Africa. To me.
You were saying something a little bit earlier. Tell me about the story of the help you have in your house.
Oh yeah, about that. Like I was saying, the nosy neighbors, they worry too much. I had a girl in my house, like anytime I get money in my house, they go. And I'm like, for a month or two, and the person is like, I want to go back. You don't do anything to the person, but you don't know what happens. The person wants to go. And then I wanted to know. So I was like, no, you have to tell me why. And she was like, hey, auntie, madam, no, what's your nature, no? She comes to call me and asks me what you sent me to go and buy, and she's like, hey, you send me too much. I was like, really? Wow. She says I send you too much. And what did you tell her? Auntie, I didn't say anything, I just left. And I was like, oh, so she's the cause of my problem. She has been sending them away. Because
are you friends with the lady, or you're not even that
aware? I know her. We're on high levels.
Hello, bye bye.
Yes, but I haven't even gone to her house to see what she does there.
And then when you've got your nanny, she's basically...
Oh yeah, because they don't stay, they go. And I'm like, what is happening? Because when they come in a month or two, so I'm sure even that is the smallest. Because when I'm away at work, maybe she comes in to tell them, hey, see, you are washing, hey, you are cooking, hey, you are doing this. And so that will even make the person not want to stay. She might think maybe I'm using her too much, so she wants to go. And that is because of what my neighbor has been telling her.
It's interesting. No, it's actually interesting because we're thinking of nosy neighbors as maybe sometimes what people see and they go and tell. Like my mom, and I know she's watching right now. My mom is I would say certified nosy neighbor, but I think with her most of it is safety, not just being nosy. So we have CCTV cameras. We have security cameras at our house, and what she did one time was like, I moved the CCTV cameras, and then she likes to see, what's happening because she
around.
She was like, oh, those people. I don't want to expose her too much, but to me that's high tech nosy neighbors. Like right now, because we have CCTV, and we can even have it on your phone. So my mom can direct her cameras and know that, so you people, that's what you're doing. This person came to visit you. So, the future of nosy neighbors, my mom is certainly one of them. I said, but with her, it's for safety, not because she wants to know what's happening. But let's talk about that safety element. And I want to even, just recently, I heard a story that was trending of a lady, beautiful lady, that was allegedly shot by her husband, and they lived in a house. And when her neighbor was the first person that came to her aid. So things like that. If you have a robber in your house, you're gonna want your neighbor to, that day, even if they've been gossiping about you, that day you're gonna want them to let somebody.
On that aspect, it's good to have a nosy neighbor. On that aspect, it's very, very good. But apart from that, to me, it's totally not. It's totally not right to be nosy too.
But do you think you have too many female friends? female friends that visit
many,
you?
I guess.
Is that why the chewing gum seller and everybody on your street are like, hey, this one, dear?
Too much.
Well, at times you can't just, I'm an open person. At times you can't just stop. Like, I happen to have female friends, fine, but it's not like I'm into any relationship with all of them. At times, some of them come to visit me at home. At times,
And they stay overnight.
no, except you're my girlfriend. That's when you
Okay,
stay
it's only
overnight.
the girlfriend stay.
Yeah,
Are you
overnight.
still with the same girl the lady said, this one, dear?
No. I'm not with
No.
that.
Okay. Maybe that's the story of camera. All right. Last words to you, Nanadra. Right now, your neighbor that has been, you found out was, telling ill things to your nannies to make them leave. Have you confronted her about
Yeah,
it?
I
You
did.
confronted her.
I did.
And what happened?
Well, you know when you do something bad and you're caught, you can't say anything and you're like, duh, you can't do anything. I went there and then I called her and I was like, this is what I heard. Why are you doing that? She was like, oh, it wasn't anything. I was just talking to them. I was even conversing. I was just telling them not to do bad things and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so how come you told her I sent her too much? She was like, oh, Sister Ja, me pacho. And that was it. But I think on a level like that, on a very good day, you should talk to whoever it is, approach the person, let them know you know what they're doing and you're not happy about it, and I'm sure they would stop, because if not, you would be in trouble one day.
That's true. All right, so there you have it, dealing with nosy neighbors in your relationship. I want to say a big thank you to my guest, Alexandra Osei, who's an actor, and also to Nana Adra Agri, who is a beautician. Thank you very much. All right, make sure you don't go anywhere. We, of course, have more coming up right here on New Day.